It's showing just black.
Nishant, once you are ready, you tell me then we'll start.
Yes, sir. So we have the High Commissioner from Tanzania also. He has joined. Sir, good evening, very good afternoon, and welcome to the inauguration ceremony, sir. I just request to, sir, speak something and test the mic. The video is perfectly clear, sir.
Nishant, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir. Sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, good.
High Commissioner, sir, from Tanzania, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
Okay.
So, with the permission of you, I think we can start, sir, because everyone has joined.
Okay, please go ahead.
Very good afternoon to everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome the distinguished gentlemen to the much-awaited Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo, the international virtual expo starting from today. The India Pavilion is being represented by the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, popularly known as FIO, and is supported by the Department of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and also our Indian missions all across the Africa region. FIO represents the Indian entrepreneur spirit of enterprise in the global market and is a partner of the Government of India is promoting international sports. It's a matter of great pride for us that in this much looked after and the much looked forward Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo, focusing on electrical, engineering, construction, and its allied industries, we have the participation of more than 1,500 visitors and around 100 one-to-one match-based buyers from the African countries, who are eagerly waiting to forge partnerships with the Indian partners and the suppliers. Ladies and gentlemen, this virtual edition Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo, International Virtual Expo, aims to bring together the key stakeholders and businessmen together to create efficiencies and effectiveness in the interactions. The event is buzzing with complete opportunities where besides the virtual expo, we have focused one-to-one meets. With this, I once again welcome you all, especially to the inauguration ceremony of this virtual expo. And on this very special occasion, it is our honor that we have the distinguished presence of the dignitaries who have with us today. Dr. Virendra Paul, the High Commissioner of India to Kenya and Somalia. Namaskar, sir, and welcome to the inauguration. Sri Robert Tong, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia and the African Union. Welcome, Excellency. Welcome, Ambassador, sir. Sri Binay Srikant Pradhan, High Commissioner of India to Tanzania. Welcome, sir. Very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. Sri VSDL Surendra, Deputy High Commissioner of India to Nigeria. Welcome, and thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We have with us Dr. A. Shaktivel, President FIO, the companies from India, and international delegates. Now, with this, I would request our Honorable President, Dr. A. Shaktivel, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Before passing over the mic to sir, I'll just give a brief that Dr. A. Shaktivel was conferred the Padma Shri Award in the year 2009 by the central government in recognition of his exceptional services to the export sector, and he still continues to do so till date. Sir, over to you, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nishant. Good evening, gentlemen. Dr. Virendra Paul, High Commissioner of India to Kenya and Somalia. Sri Robert Stringen, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia and African Union. Sri Binay Srikanta Pradhan, High Commissioner of India to Tanzania. Sri VSDL Surendra, Deputy High Commissioner of India to Nigeria. Companies from India, international delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the FIO, I extend very warm welcome to all of you at the inauguration ceremony of this extremely important and one of its kind Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo virtual exhibition. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to Dr. Virendra Paul, High Commissioner of India, Sri Robert Tshikand, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia, Sri Binay Srikant Pradhan, High Commissioner of India to Tanzania, Mr. Surendra, Deputy High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, for sparing their valuable time and agreeing to address the participants. Friends, the significant recovery in the key economic and business indicators on the back of string of bold economic reforms and with the aggressive vaccination drives in India and various countries have instilled expectation of strong and sustainable growth ahead. Although new coronavirus variant has impacted the performance of some of the lead economic and business indicators, and we are witnessing the third wave in our country. The resilience of Indian economy is very strong, and we expect a double-digit GDP growth in 2021-22. On the back of the effective policy measures undertaken by the Government of India, in fact, as per the National Statistics Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has released the first advance estimates, and the growth in real GDP during 21-22 is estimated 9.2% as compared to the contradiction of 7.3% in 2020-21. Also, we have to mitigate the uncertainty caused by the looming impact of Omicron variant, and hence there is a need for continuous handling of the economy. It is equally important and imperative for each of us keep taking the safety precautions. Friends, it is very satisfying and encouraging to note that India export continue to perform impressively. We witnessed the highest ever export of USD 37.29 billion with a growth of 37% during the December month, and USD 103 billion during the October-December quarter 2021-22, along with the merchandise export about 300 billion. With an increase of around 49% during April-December 2021-22, which is truly phenomenal itself, as it has broken all the previous records of recent times, showcasing the continuous resilience of India's export sector. The enthusiasm which EXIM community has impressively performed during the year has further given a boost to the sector, thereby helping the economy further move towards recovery. The forecast of the growth in the economy along with the recent GDP numbers also showcases the positive impact of exports. The top sectors which performed impressively during the month were engineering goods, petroleum products, gem and jewelry, organic and inorganic chemicals, drugs and pharmaceuticals, electronic goods, ready-made garments of all textile, cotton, yarn, fabrics, made-ups, handloom products, plastic and aluminum, and also rice contributing about to 30 billion, constituting about 80% of export with a growth of 41% during the month over December 2020. Out of this, many of them were labor-intensive sector, contributing majority of the export basket, which itself is a good sign, further helping job creation in the country. Looking at the current trend, we are sure that we will be achieving the USD 400 billion merchandise export target during this fiscal. Friends, the present economic global environment requires more initiatives, aggressiveness, and creativity in engaging with the business community across the globe. Many of the participants might be aware that FIO has been organizing a series of webinars, interactive sessions, virtual B2Bs, and trade shows by working closely with our Indian missions, embassies, consulate abroad. These interaction and meets have brought key stakeholders closer and helped them to understand the market trends and dynamics and engage in more focused business engagement benefiting all. Friends, India total export of the African region reached USD 26 billion in the year 2020-20, and share of Indian export to countries in Africa was 9.54% of its global trade. There is no denying fact, keeping in view with the competitiveness and cordial relationship we share with each other, there exists the great scope and potential to enhance the further. Friends, we are all aware that ongoing pandemic has restricted overseas travel, leading to cancellation of some of the reputed international shows all across the globe. During such times, amidst the restriction, as the world moves to a new normal scenario, the need of the hour is to move ahead and look for the possibilities in both physical exhibition and also virtual shows, connect with the overseas buyers and build a long-term business engagements. Continuing our efforts in this direction, we are happy to participate in Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo starting from today. Focus sector of the Expo are electronic and software, engineering, renewable energy, electricals, power building and construction, etc. There are around 25 quality Indian suppliers who are participating in the virtual show to explore trade and business opportunity with their counterparts from Africa and adjoining regions. I'm happy to know that more than 1,500 trade visitors, around 100 pre-confirmed buyers for B2B meeting from the African region have registered for the event. Here, I must also fully acknowledge the support of Indian missions and embassies for this virtual expo for extending invitation to prominent businessmen from the African region to attend this one-of-a-kind virtual expo come B2B meeting. Friends, virtual exhibition like that of today gives us a fine glimpse into the near future of doing business, as we are all gathered here virtually for the sake of our business. And in future, this dependency on digital platform is only going to rise. It is imperative that businessmen evolve their business operation to recognize areas where simple procedures changes can be drastically improve the efficiency in their business. We need to stop being apprehensive, critical of new techniques and methods and try to adopt new system for our business. I'm sure such adaptability will bring substantial effects in our day-to-day workings. It is therefore the appropriate time that we connect with the key stakeholders across the globe with the more aggressive and innovative efforts using digital mediums. With these words, I would like to again thank all the dignitaries and other dignitaries, distinguished guests. I also give my best wishes to all the participants who have joined us from India as well as foreign countries. And I'm confident that unique Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo virtual exhibition platform will connect your business with the right person and will assist in the growth for your business and take it to the next level. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for the useful insights and also your keywords, sir. The points have also been well noted, and we really look forward to have good engagements with the counterparts from the African region. Sir, and all our dignitaries, just for your information, this inauguration ceremony is live streamed at the auditorium of the virtual expo venue, and is currently live with over 400 present people who are live on the platform. And those are particularly the visitors and around 25 Indian companies who are participating. They are all live at the auditorium and is being live streamed. Sir, let's just moving ahead. May I now request Dr. Virendra Paul, High Commissioner of India to Kenya and Somalia, Excellency, sir, for his address, please, sir.
Thank you, President of FIO, Dr. Saktivel, my colleagues, Ambassador and High Commissioners of India in other African countries, various participants representing business communities, both from India and Kenya and other African countries, and all those who have been associated with this wonderful event. I bring you all greetings from the Indian High Commission in Nairobi. Thank you, first of all, Dr. Saktivel, for asking me to join this interaction, Manufacturing B2B, the virtual expo. And I'm indeed delighted to be a part of this important event. To begin with, I would like to say that this interaction is a much needed one at this stage. And I say this for several reasons. And one main reason for what I say is that the economic engagement between India and Africa, with all its promising potential and future, is something that can't really wait for the COVID pandemic to recede before we resume our joint work. And I'm really happy that this so-called new normal has brought us together online. And today I hope that myself and my fellow colleagues from other countries in Africa, we'll be able to bring some, new insights and inputs to the table for the India-Africa B2B interaction. in specific areas that have been identified for today's interaction. On my part, I would like to reiterate and stress that, and this I stress particularly to my jurisdiction, the business community in Kenya, that India means business, and India and Kenya have traditionally been very close partners in trade and investments areas, and in these COVID times, the catchphrase that I frequently hear all around, not only in Nairobi, but when I visit various other counties in Kenya, the catchphrase is that there is no substitute for direct B2B interaction, direct B2B linkages in these times. And when I say this, this is not, of course, to overlook or to undermine the fact that the G2G, government to government, guidance and encouragement has always played an important part. And very briefly, I would like to say that on the G2G side, the visit of our Prime Minister to Kenya in 2016 and the reciprocal visit from Kenya of President Kenyatta to India in 2017 gave us a roadmap with a very focused set of directions on the economic side on which we are working. In addition, we have a trade minister-led joint trade committee. Because of COVID reasons, it hasn't been able to meet at a time when we really wanted to, but we hope that in the coming times, soon, we'll have that meeting. Very briefly, I would like to flag the point that we had our budget presented this morning in India. Yesterday, the Economic Survey of India was released, and these are very detailed documents, but I would encourage the business communities in Kenya and also other countries to find some time and look at the basic elements of the budget for this coming financial year. And it's indeed very encouraging, particularly in the areas that we are going to discuss, whether it's manufacturing or energy sector or power sector, and focus on renewables and electronics and IT, etc. On the road to post-COVID recovery, as we all know, the governments, they have their hands full with various responsibilities, largely focusing on the protection of life and livelihoods. We also are engaged in doing whatever is possible to recover from the crisis or crisis-like situations as fully and as fast as possible. And in this process, I think it's for all of us to play our part, and the business communities also, we expect they are going to do their bit. Now, when we talk about post-COVID economic recovery, it goes without saying that there have been serious challenges, whether there have been serious large-scale disruptions in supply chains, whether it's job losses or stress on the financial sector, affecting, including the sectors that we are focusing today. But as regards India, what's encouraging is that the positive signs of rapid recovery are already visible, and we would attribute the strength of this forecast that the Indian economy in all its facets is going to recover and recover fast. The strength of this forecast is the success of India's COVID vaccination drive. Coming back to Kenya, I would like to underline that it has been India's efforts to make full use of the complementarity that the two economies offer us. In other words, the focus of India's action in terms of our economic engagement with Kenya is to align our efforts with Kenya's priorities. And we have seen that traditionally over the last many years, this approach has served us very well. One of the areas that we are focusing on today, manufacturing, happens to be one of the big four agenda of President Kenyatta. And in this regard, I would like to very briefly mention that some of the lines of credit that India has offered to Kenya, some have been implemented, some in the process of implementation, and some are about to be launched and implemented. I would like to flag what the LOC on Rivatex has done. Now, this LOC, the quantum is not that much, it's about $30 million, but the upgradation of a textile factory in a place called Eldoret in Kenya, the name of the factory is Rivatex, it has really turned around the cotton value chain in that area, creating a large number of jobs. There's another line of credit worth about 15 million, and that is dedicated to the development of MSMEs. A part of it has been utilized, and it too has made a good difference. There is another LOC worth $100 million, focusing on agro-industries and agriculture mechanization. In the field of manufacturing, we are happy that we already have a bilateral agreement on standards, between India's Bureau of Indian Standards and its Kenyan counterpart. There is a bilateral document under consideration between Ken Invest and India Invest, and the thrust of this document on mutual investment is, of course, going to be on manufacturing. Now, in terms of specific sectors, let me say a few words about the power sector. In Kenya, there is a development relating to last mile connectivity. It's a campaign in which Indian companies, and I would like to name the companies as well, Shama Power, Kalpataru Power Transmission, and KEC International, they are involved, and they have enabled much progress in this sector. NTPC Limited and Power Grid Corporation of India, they have also shown interest in establishing their presence in the country. And Indian Electrical and Electronics Manufacturers Association, IEEMA, also continues to be fairly active in Kenya's power sector. On renewable energy, I would like to upfront say that we are going to soon have an intergovernmental MOU on energy with a clear focus on renewables. There is a big ticket project which is with the dominant investments by the government of Kenya, and it seeks to build an effective grid modernization program. And there are a series of Indian players who are interested in this area. And already through the framework of International Solar Alliance, there has been several proposals underway for concrete action. In electronics, I would like to say that Kenya, I would like to bring to the attention of our Indian participants that Kenya is at the forefront of technological innovations in the region. And it's not by accident that Kenya is also described as Africa's Silicon Savannah. And the government of Kenya is heavily invested in this sector. There are many opportunities, and many of the Indian IT players who are aware of the opportunities, they are already active. There is a lot more that can be done by the Indian IT sectors and those who are interested in IT and electronics sector in India. Now, this is broadly, I have described the areas that are being discussed today. There is huge potential, and I would encourage both the Indian partners and the Kenyan partners to come together and look for opportunities, especially in the post-COVID context. I think there should not be any opportunity that should be lost. And I would like to reassure both our Indian business community members and also the Kenyan business community that the doors of the Indian High Commission in Nairobi, they are always open to you. We have a full-fledged and active commercial wing in the High Commission. The details are there on our website. And I'm available in Nairobi. Sometimes when I visit the counties of Kenya, I'm always ready to meet individual companies and also to have meetings there with the participation of the county governments in small formats, large formats. When it comes to economic engagement between India and Kenya, it won't be an exaggeration if I say the sky is the limit, and we are open to discussing, all the opportunities. With these words, I thank you once again, and I wish all the participants of this wonderful event every success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, President, sir.
No, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Paul, sir, for the beautiful words, and very rightly said that post-COVID, there should not be any opportunity that should be left. So we are also keeping that in mind and working in the same direction, and under the guidance of all our missions, like support from you, we are looking forward to this. Moving forward, may I now request Sri Robert Chetkintong, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia and the African Union. Sir, Excellency, for your address, please.
A very good afternoon to all of you. India and Ethiopia have good bilateral relations, and the economic aspect, the business aspect is the most visible area, because as of today, 650 Indian companies are registered with the Ethiopian Investment Commission. So while 55% of these factories are in the manufacturing sector, we also have about 20 Indian agriculture companies. These Indian companies are present in all areas of the country. For example, we have about 10 Indian textile factories here in Ethiopia. Basically, they are exporting to foreign countries under various schemes. We also have the largest Indian investment in the meat processing plant, that is Alana Sons have set up probably state-of-the-art, one of the largest meat processing plants in Africa. We have Kanoria also has a very large setup here. They have set up a textile denim factory not very far from Addis Ababa. What I'm only trying to highlight by these few examples is that Indian investments, Indian factories, Indian companies are here to stay in Ethiopia, as the same with other countries in Africa. They are looking, even during the last 1 year, despite the COVID pandemic, we had about 35 new Indian investments here. And during the last 15 months that I am here in Ethiopia, I have visited about 140 Indian factories. And I know that many of them are expanding their operations here. When I visit these factories, one of the things that I emphasize with our fellow citizens is that they should continue doing trade with India, in the sense that whether they are importing their raw materials, their machineries, they should look favorably to India. If we look at the various sectors in the last 3 years, number one would be the pharmaceutical products. So in this sector, we already have two joint ventures between Indian and Ethiopian investors. Kadila Pharmaceuticals, and Kilitz Estro. These are joint ventures in pharmaceutical sector. Glocare, another Indian company, is about to start its operations. We have in Addis Ababa, the Kilinto Industrial Park, which is only dedicated to the pharmaceutical sector, and 2-3 Indian companies are already about to set up their factories. So pharmaceutical products is the leading sector here when it comes to India-Ethiopia bilateral trade. Then we have vehicles. So for example, I have visited the Bajaj assembly plant and the TVS assembly plant. The Bajaj is by the Hora Trading. It is a huge setup. Even I will not be exaggerating if I say that when I visited their assembly plant, I could not walk, so they had to take me by car. It is that big. The TVS assembly plant by Red One Motors is in Dire Dawa. You have Atul Motors and Piaggio and even Ford. So these are in the three in the auto rickshaw in the three-wheeler sector. These are the important factories that we have. The cars. When I travel around some parts of the country, I can see Indian tractors. This is also another important area. So you have vehicles, then we have machinery, equipment, iron and steel, aluminum, because we also have Indian investments in the iron and steel and aluminum. So probably these companies, as also other Ethiopian companies, are doing trade with India in this sector. For example, packaging is also another important upcoming sector. We have about 10 Indian factories in packaging. The same way with paper and fabrics. So because of the Indian factories that we have, also in my interaction, what I have also found is that there were a number of Ethiopian nationals who have studied in India and who know our country. So knowing our country, knowing the complementaries that they have, actually they have played a big role in maintaining that business link between our two countries. The 5 important countries in terms of trade are China, Kuwait, India, USA, and Turkey. So while China is about $3 billion a year, Kuwait is again 1.1 billion. That would be mostly in petroleum products. The third, or more or less the same with Kuwait, is India. That is about 1.1. US is the fourth, is 1 billion, but this is basically Ethiopian Airlines purchasing the aircraft from US. So, and Turkey in the 5th position would be $600 million. So just to give you the point that India still maintains that important role or that importance in the bilateral trade between the two countries, and there are still tremendous scope for improvement. One of the things that our Indian exporters should know is that to export your products to, because Ethiopian nationals can only undertake export and import. So if an Indian exporter is selling or exporting its products to Ethiopia, I think they should keep this in mind, that the company that is importing Indian products should have prior dollar approval from a bank here. So, probably our Indian exporters know about it, but I'm just re-emphasizing because we do come across issues where some of our exporters are not aware of this regulation. So with that, thank you for giving me this time.
Thank you so much, Ambassador sir. Thank you so much, Ambassador sir, for the useful insights and very valid points made. And also all our participants who are currently live must have taken note of this regarding the prior dollar approvals while importing from India, while importing to Ethiopia. With this, moving forward, may I now request Shri Binay Shrikant Pradhan, uh, His Excellency High Commissioner of India to Tanzania, for his address, please. Sir, over to you.
Nishant, 1
Sir.
minute. Sir,
Sir.
I excuse myself because I have a budgetary interview with the other channels. I had to leave at 4 o'clock. I'm extremely sorry that I had to leave, but I wish you everything success. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for all the
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, over to you, sir, please.
Thank you. I first of all thank FIO for organizing this event. I also acknowledge the presence of very distinguished participants, especially Dr. Virender Paul, who happens to be my first boss in my diplomatic service. I also acknowledge presence of Robert, who used to be Deputy Chief of Mission here until 3 years back and had done a tremendous job on promoting business-to-business relationship. Other colleagues, our Deputy Chief of Mission in Nigeria, and all the distinguished participants in the very useful Manufacturing Africa Forum. I think the topic is very relevant, and like the President of PO mentioned, the export of India to African continent, like I won't term it as respectable. I would say it's grossly below the potential. 54 countries, such a huge continent, and having the advantage of Indian community coming here 100 years back, setting up the business-to-business ties such a century back, but we haven't been actually been able to capitalize on that. So I would start with that the potential is really, really very high. And with joint effort from government side, the embassies and the business community, we can really ramp it up. And like Dr. Paul mentioned, like Robert mentioned, I think the story is similar in Tanzania. The government-to-government cooperation have been good. The institutional frameworks are there in place. And the government has, as far as Tanzania is concerned, has been very supportive in terms of promoting Indian investment and welcoming Indian export. In fact, India is a major trade partner. India remains the single largest export destination as far as Tanzanian exports are concerned. And, we remain the second largest source of import. And as far as the specific sectors are concerned, I try to get as much information as possible, which could benefit the participants. So let me go sector-wise. The power sector, is the most kind of happening sector at the moment in Tanzania. While, they start with a very low base of 1600 megawatt of installed capacity, but the target is to go up to 12,000 megawatt in medium term. And at the moment, the Indian companies are very active. The same companies like L&T, Kalpataru, KEC, they are big in transmission segment. We have other companies who are also working in distribution segment. But overall, like I said, the target is to install 12,000 megawatt of power in medium term. Similarly, immediately they have to kind of lay down 6,000 kilometer of 400, 200 kV and 132 kV transmission line. But going forward, the total budgetary estimate they have in the plan period up to 2040 is to have an investment of $50 billion. So it's a big ticket sector. And as I said, Indian companies are actually on the forefront of transmission segment. So the exporters from India can tie up with these companies, can find business opportunities. Most of these Indian companies who are in transmission sector, they primarily source the products from India, especially transformers, static converters, inductors. These things come from India. And I think if our companies can tie up with the players here, they can ramp up their export. But the expectation here is that our companies set up some kind of manufacturing, or if not manufacturing, assembly line that gives a tremendous boost to the confidence here, and that actually attracts business. So I would request if Indian companies can think of moving little beyond the job of contractors and to think of setting up of some manufacturing or assembly line. And here the government expects that in India Indian companies would come with some innovative financing. So the the energy minister would very often say that Indian companies are doing a great job, but if they can bring some kind of EPC plus F element, that would give a tremendous boost to the job that we are getting for Indian companies. Now, electronics and software, it's a young country. I think it's probably youngest among the African countries. So the number of people using smartphone is increasing drastically. At the moment, out of 60 million people, 28 million people are using smartphone, and the target is to reach 48 million, which is 80% by end of next year. Mobile money is probably part of the day-to-day life of even the common Tanzanian. And now they have target to have a national fiber optic network by 2025. And once that national infrastructure is ready for IT and software, you will see a huge boost in this sector. Indian companies like Airtel, they're already present. They're the second largest company in terms of telecom. IT centers have been set up with government assistance. In fact, the first supercomputer of African continent was set up by SIDAC in Tanzania, I think during Robert's time. And so we have good scope in IT segment, especially in the software and IT education segment. And the government knows about India's capability, so they have been kind of very forthcoming in receiving Indian IT sector players. Recently, Tech Mahindra got a big contract in this project related to the software segment of power sector. Engineering goods, the next segment, we have been doing well. In fact, most of the factories that if you visit, you will find that some segment of the machinery is imported from India and primarily custom built for this particular company here. So all the sugar plants would be, machineries are from India, the cashew processing plants, the chemical, packaging, mining. In some way or other, you'll find Indian machinery is being used here, but the scope is huge. And they appreciate if somebody sets up the assembly lines here. Like Bajaj, for example, Robert gave the example in Ethiopia. Same is the story here. They bring, in semi-knockdown condition or CKD, SKD in either mode, but they do a little bit of assembly here that gives them a lot of tax advantage, but also gives a confidence to the local government and business community that we are here to stay. So engineering goods, I think, if we I have recently met some Indian companies who are setting up assembly lines for engineering goods here. But I think there is great scope to do much more on that. The fourth segment, renewable, it's not a big sector in Tanzania as yet. The government plan talks know about big plans, but the government has been in dialogue with us. But their expectation is that we come with some kind of innovative financing, and the tariff that we'll quote should be really, really competitive. But renewable, I would say that it's not a very big segment at the moment, while the future is bright. So to sum it up, Tanzania is now a lower middle income country. The economy has been growing for more than now last 30 years in 6+% every year. So the middle class is growing, the economy is doing well, and the government has no target up to 2025 to do tremendous growth in these segments like water, power, the IT software. So it provides a lot of opportunity to Indian companies. And we have a $1 billion line of credit, $1.1 billion line of credit for Tanzania, out of which 500 million has been spent. And the remaining is going to be spent from this month. And that has brought a lot of Indian companies to come and work here. And they have been now using that presence to spread their activities here. And the donor countries also prefer to use Indian contractors. So that also provides opportunity to our people. And also one thing one should keep in mind that Kenya, Tanzania, these East African countries, they are part of a kind of common custom union, it's more like a free trade zone. So once you have presence in one country, you can actually access the entire East African market. And now with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, that scope is much more expanded. I think this is a time when Indian companies should come to Africa. We should take our rightful place. Our ancestors came here hundreds of years back, set up the business. It provides us a good platform. People trust us. People take Indian as serious business people, and we can capitalize on that. I'm happy that FIO is bringing delegations this year, 2 delegations to Tanzania. We also have no sector-specific delegations on engineering goods, and power sector companies are also coming this year. So I would request if the participants who are not part of these delegations, if they can also join the delegates. Needless to say that me and my colleagues in High Commission are completely at your disposal. We not try to respond to each and every trade query. We try to respond to each and every email that we get on these issues. So I thank FIO for taking this initiative and reassure that the High Commission would be doing whatever it's possible to promote these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ganesha, for the insights, and very rightly said, sir, that it's really high time for the Indian companies to utilize the lines of credit that the Indian government has extended. As you have said, that $1.1 billion is the line of credit that has been extended to Tanzania. And also, as we have embarked upon the very right module, that the Indian companies must also be listening over to, that this entire East African market, whether you go to Kenya, you go to Tanzania, you go to Ethiopia, they have a free trade zone kind of a setup. You enter one country, you can penetrate the others. We will definitely keep this in mind and also pass on to our other companies, the member companies, for the information. And also, as you have mentioned, that FIO is mounting delegations this year to Kenya, to Ethiopia, to Tanzania. Yes, 2 events definitely, and also to Nigeria. To start with, we are coming over to Nigeria in the month of March for the Power and Elect Nigeria. It's a physical show. And then for the next year onwards, we are coming over to other countries as well. Africa has always been a very aggressive market, important market for us. We are working on it very hard. So with all your support, your guidance, which will be much needed, we really look forward to it. Thank you. Moving forward, may I now request Sri BSDL Shrendra, the Acting High Commissioner of India to Nigeria. Sir, over to you, please.
Dr. A.S. Sakthivel, President FIO, Respected Dr. Virender Paul, High Commissioner of India to Kenya and Somalia, Respected Shri Robert Shetkin Tong, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia and African Union, Respected Shri Vinay Srikanta Pradhan, High Commissioner of India to Tanzania, all the ladies and very warm welcome to you all to the Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo. First of all, I would like to commend FIO for organizing this at this time. It's an opportune movement. Things are on a positive trajectory. It's cautious optimism all around. We see that bilateral trade between India and Nigeria is on the rise. For the calendar year 2021, it's gone up by 55%, standing at 4.5 billion in the year 2021. And as you all know, Nigeria is India's largest trading partner in Africa. So with this, I think we are on the right track. Coming to the manufacturing sector, I would say that manufacturing sector is now one of the key focus areas of the Nigerian government. Because the economy is set to grow at a whopping pace. The World Bank has predicted that the Nigerian economy is set to double by the year 2025 to a $1 trillion economy, and the manufacturing sector is expected to propel this move. And we see that 60% of the manufacturing in Nigeria happens in Lagos, which is the nerve center of economic and commercial activity in Africa, in West Africa. And there are the other areas of manufacturing at Kano, Ibadan, and Kaduna. And the major areas of manufacturing here are beverages, cement, food processing, textiles, and detergents. But having said that, I would like to say that Indian companies are in the wide and very diverse fields of manufacturing activity here. We have 135 prominent Indian companies with an estimated investment of around 19 billion. And they have been able to keep the momentum going, keep the profits going even during the pandemic with the innovative technology, innovative approaches, especially companies like Dabur, Godrej, and even other. For an example, let me tell you about Pearl. They're manufacturing. They're into manufacturing of oil drums. You know, in entire West Africa, there's a lot of oil exports going in, and around 80% of the market for just the oil drums it comes from Pearl, which is based in Lagos. And coming to opportunities, we see that like our Honorable High Commissioner has said at the beginning, and also the High Commissioner in Tanzania, best to align our priorities with that of Nigeria, identify areas of opportunity. And the areas we see are definitely ceramics and building material, given Nigeria's intent to go big on housing for its 200 million population. And of course, they have this agriculture modernization drive, and the demand for agriculture machinery is definitely on the rise. And the recent event we had, almost 80% of the inquiries were for small horsepower tractors. And then there is a lot of interest in renewable energy, solar energy, setting up of small plants, especially from the states, from the 36 states. So that is an important area. But of course, like High Commissioner has said, Tanzania, innovative financing is a requirement to penetrate these areas. And we see that there are challenges. I would not say that without challenges. There are challenges of power, poor infrastructure, and lack of skilled labor. But these have also been areas of opportunity for some of the Indian companies. For example, Indian rice mills in Kano are using the waste product to produce energy. So the waste to energy strategies are being properly leveraged by the Indian companies here. And some of the factories in Lagos have started giving training to the young population there to make them ultimately be absorbed into their factories. So these are some areas which send out a positive sentiment for India and help enhance the brand image for India in Nigeria. And FIAO is no stranger to Nigeria. We have been very actively supporting them. On 12th of October 2021, we had a very successful webinar organized for them with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and with the Indian Professional Forum, which represents most of the Indian investment in Nigeria. And we would advise FIAO to kindly build upon this very strong platform because that is where the key lies. Here we see that local representation or boots on the ground are very important. And we welcome FIAO. We just came to know that they want to come with a physical delegation in March 2022. And we would request FIAO to kindly let us know the names of the companies, the profile, the area of interest, so that we could look for ideal matchmaking here with the relevant Nigerian stakeholders. High Commission here is ready to offer all its support. And we once again congratulate FIAO for organizing this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Surendra sir, for the useful insights and your words of appreciation to us. Definitely, we will keep you in loop, and without your guidance, it's never possible for us to mount relegation to any country. In fact, for the Nigeria, it's the power and electronics sector, for which an official email will be sending to you very soon, sir. Because of this Omicron variant, we were also not sure, but we have somehow managed, to grab over the situation, and we are looking forward to it. Further, I will also request all the High Commissioners, the Honorable Excellencies, the jury present over here, and we will also be sending emails to our other missions as well, that without your support and guidance, it will not be possible for us to mount delegation in the respective countries. We need your active support. We are looking forward to a very aggressive target of over $500 billion of exports, and we need your guidance in this. We need your handholding in this. With this, we actually now come to the end of this official inauguration ceremony of the Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we conclude the inaugural ceremony of the Manufacturing Africa B2B Expo. Here, with the support of the Department of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, is participating in this mega international virtual event with 25 Indian companies. We are pleased to see an overwhelming response of the businesses from India and the businesses from the entire African region. This virtual expo brings practically all the features of physical expo in the virtual format and is expected to boost India's exports to the region significantly. Fear, despite the prevailing global economic scenario, is making all its efforts to keep the wheels of the trade rolling, and we would sincerely like to appreciate all the participants who, by participating in this e-expo, have not only supported the efforts of the Federation, but have also shown the world that businesses throughout are eager to adapt to the changing times. With over 1,500 overseas business visitors from various countries meeting the Indian companies virtually, we are sure that the 3 days event will have measurable business results and we'll be able to witness a substantial export growth in these identified sectors in the times to come. With these words, we would again like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Virendra Paul, High Commissioner of India to Kenya and Somalia. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Shri Robert Setkintong, Ambassador of India to Ethiopia and African Union. Thank you so much, sir. Shri Binay Shrikant Pradhan, High Commissioner of India to Tanzania. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for joining. Shri V.S. Srendra, Deputy High Commissioner of India to Nigeria. Thank you, sir. Dr. A. Saktivel, President PO, who had to leave for an media briefing, our member companies from India, for sparing them their valuable time and encouraging us in our endeavors. We would particularly also like to thank especially our Indian missions in the Ethiopia, our High Commission in Kenya, Tanzania, and Nigeria for their wholehearted support and the cooperation extended. Also, our sincere thanks to all the delegates for being a part of this e-expo and the organizers, Bright Exhibitions from Dubai. We would also like to thank our supporting partners and other organizations who have made this event, event create a milestone. Thank you, dignitaries, for your precious time and presence, and have a great day ahead. Thank you, sir. Namaste, sir. If anything on our from your part, sir, we are most welcome for any guidance, for any submissions that you would like to make for us to improve, and any other submission with regard to the fiscal delegation, sir. We are always there, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Paul, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir.